So we got all these classes, right? And like always, guess what? I'm really sleepy. um, I also didn't get last week's uh, one up, the VOD up, I don't think, so I'll maybe do that after this. Week's been, I have a lot of things, lots of plates spinning and stuff. Um, so we have all these classes, right? We got thing the thing that shoots the bullet, the actual bullet being shot, the enemy that's getting hit by the bullet, and then like kind of the thing that puts it all together. The only thing that like we've been using Love long enough to know this, but just to like refresh, main is the thing that the engine is looking for, right? All these other things are kind of secondary, but here we tell it to make sure that it has these before it starts running. So let's start with our player, I guess. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. So we head on over to our player object. We're just going to write some normal variables like we have for basically everything that we've done so far. I just want to be able to pop out the chat. Is that possible? I thought it was. No, fine. Just for reasons. I'm gonna, in that case, do one of these. You all have no idea what I'm doing. It's fine. There we go. I just want to be able to see everything that I need to see. And things are weird dimensions. Okay, so we got this thing. It's called a constructor, right? The function that says player : new. So we're just gonna write the normal stuff that we've written for everything. So we're gonna say self.w equals 50, self.h equals 50. And then I'm going to make it so that we're drawing the x and y that we're referencing is in the center, relatively. So self.x equals love.graphics.get width. It'll just make our movement easier. Divided by 2. Then self.y equals love.graphics.get height divided by 2. So another thing that I'll just say up top is that this is a heat lamp, so it's gonna make me a little toasty. Get out of here, idle thumbs. I don't want to watch you right now. So I'm also gonna add a few things that we'll probably mess with later. So like self.speed. I'm gonna make that 500. Then self. We could have HP. We don't have to right now, but that's like something that we could put in the future. One of those little like future things. And then self.dead equals false. For now, we're just gonna say like dead is true or false, basically. But we could have a thing that checks for HP and then sets dead to true or false. I also like to have like a self.shot cooldown or something like that. -0. So for our update, let's just first get our boy moving around. Same stuff that we've done already. dot is down. I'm gonna make it WASD for now. Kind of annoying thing about the kind of default input input system is that there isn't like a nice way to say like Unity or something like that has like an axis that will check for both WASD and arrow keys. Love doesn't have that. And so here's something that we haven't done yet. We're going to make it so that we can't go off the screen because that's useful to be able to do, right? Or like we don't want ourselves flying off the screen. So the way that this works, I'm just going to type out the code and then kind of explain what happens. So we're going to say and self.x minus self.speed times dt is greater than 0. Then, and this is like, it's probably pretty self-explanatory, but I'll just walk you through kind of what it means. So we're checking to see if the A key is pressed. God, yep. Thank you. Programmers with depression represent. It's like everyone that I know. So we're checking to see if the A key is down, and that's going to make our character. I should have opened Aspirate also. It's fine. Let's see. Do I have? Can I open a new instance of this? Yeah, cool. So I'm just gonna do this to like demonstrate. That is absolutely not. So here's our boy. We press A and we move this way, right? But you know, there's nothing saying like once we hit the edge, then we stop. Like there are a few ways to go about doing this. This is the way that I kind of like to do it. So what we're doing is we're putting inside of input, like if the edge of our character is, we might need to fix where the edge is because this is like looking at the center. Making sure that this is greater than 0 when that button's pressed, right? So what this is doing is seeing if we were to press the A button, in this case, the go left button, right? It would check to see if our character's position minus the amount that it would move, meaning like, I'm trying to point, but that's not helpful. This way, right, would be greater than 0. And remember, this side is 0 for our purposes right now. So then we're going to move it. Notice that this is the exact same expression as this, right? Because we're checking to see if we do this and it is greater than 0, meaning like on the screen, then we can do it, right? And so I'm just gonna make this character move left and right. You can do like up and down if you want to, and you could add like an upper border also. I'm just gonna make it move left and right. And so we're just gonna use the D key for this. And same deal. Dot x plus so self.x plus self.y width divided by 2, right? Half the width, because we're checking from the middle. Then plus self dot speed times dt. And then we're checking to see if it's less than, I forget if we used this before, but we might have. Love.graphics.getWidth. Oops. And so all this is doing is it's basically the reverse, right? This is the only thing that I think we might have not used already. And this just like checks to see what this side of the screen is. So this is like what this side is always 0, right? This side is always get width, so you don't need to like memorize the screen dimensions, and the screen dimensions can change, right? Like we can make a thing that will run at multiple dimensions. But yeah, so this will always just get this side of the screen, and then we're going to do the moving. Self.x plus self.speed times dt. We're going to do something. I'm just going to put the scaffold for it here. We're going to make the ship able to shoot, right? So, but we're not going to actually write the code for that yet because I want to like get the ship on the screen. The ship, the cube, or the square, as it were. Down and space, then. So yeah, we're just like going to check to see if the space key is pressed, and then we're going to shoot in here. So now let's draw our player, right? That's a thing that makes sense to do, right? So first we're going to check to see if we're alive, right? Because we're not going to draw ourselves if we're not alive. Here we go. Excuse me. So we're going to say love.graphics.setColor. Let's make it white. I did a little talk at this camp for kids to teaching them how to make games today, and I made a note that like all of my games are very white on black because I really like white on black. So love.graphics.rectangle. We're gonna make it not. It's almost fall, but we're gonna make it fill. And then just our things. So here, since we are using an object and not a table, we could just say self dot each one of those things. Cool. And we're setting our dead to false. Let's see if this works. 19. Oh, did I not close this? Yeah, this should have one of these. Cool. I am nowhere. Whoops, did I no, I made me show up, right? Oh, right. So here's me being tired and silly. So now what we have to do is we have to go back to our main function because this doesn't do anything yet, right? Like it does, but we're not actually calling it in main. This, remember I said this at literally the beginning. This is the only real function that it's like looking at. Like, you know, that's obviously not true, but like if something's not in main, then it functionally doesn't exist. So we're just gonna write player : draw. And now what this is doing is it's calling the function that is on the player, right? Calling the draw function on the player from within the draw function inside of there. And we're also just going to do the same thing for update. Oops. Not. And just a note, this, we could just call this DT also, because DT from here will then become DT in here. I put DT here, right? Yes. Cool. So save that, save this. Now let's see what breaks. Something breaks. Cool. What is breaking? My mom is texting me. She's not saying anything like profane yet or anything, as she did last time. Okay. Self.dead. Requiring it. Oh, also me being silly. We didn't make it yet, I don't think. So I'm doing fine. Everything's fine. So remember how I said that these constructors are right here. They're like how we make new objects, right? We always need to call that inside of another function in order for the object to make, because to be made, because right now the object, this player thing, is just kind of like an idea that the computer has. It hasn't been made real yet. So we're gonna go over to main, and then it's really simple. We're just gonna say player equals player, like that. And what this is doing is it's looking for a constructor for that's called player, and we have one right over here, right? So it's basically looking for this function and calling it, and then what it's doing is saving it to a variable called player. So when we reference player like this, that's the thing that we're referencing. It's this variable that we've basically saved the manifestation of our player object into. So with all that out of the way, let's see if it works. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And we should stop when we hit the edge. We might need to tweak that a little bit, tweak our math a little bit, because it looks like it's fine on one edge, but that's fine. No biggie. We could make that feel better or whatever later. So now let's make our character shoot. This is like the new thing that we're gonna do today. Like the and it's not like a ton or anything like that. Y'all don't like Thursdays too much. Just checking people that are here, and it is 2. That's fine. The VODs will be up. Let's say tonight. I'll say tonight and put both of them up. So I want to try to just like block out the main functionality for this thing. A lot of the stuff like the state machine and stuff like that you could carry over from the last project, and like you could make some cooler stuff happen than what we're actually going to do today. But I want to try to get through. I want to try to make a game that is functional. Yeah, we're committing to it. Also, was a bad idea to have hot coffee. It's fine. All right, so let's make our character shoot. So to do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a new function. I'm gonna put it under here. I like to put the three main functions like blip blip blip, and then put any custom ones under that. And I'm just gonna call it player:shoot. We're gonna give it some parameters in a moment. I'm just gonna end this. We're gonna give it an X and a Y, and this is just gonna be like where it starts, where the bullet starts. I made a shot cooldown, right? Yeah. So if we don't have this, then it basically becomes like a kind of a jet stream or like a flamethrower or like a laser or something like that. Like it'll just be every frame it will create a new one, which like that's not the best way to do that either, but like, you know, it looks cool, I guess. But we're going to check to see if it is 0. Less than or equal to 0, then we're going to set shot cooldown to 0.2. So like every 0.2 of a second you can shoot a new shot. And then up here in update, just a little like thing that we got to do to make this work. We're gonna say self.shot cooldown equals self.shot cooldown minus DT. So that's basically going to create a timer so that it will be ticking down, and it hits 0, and then we'll be able to shoot every 0.2 of a second. So in order to make this function, I'm going to go back to main, and I'm going to put this in main. There are probably ways to organize it a little bit better, but that's fine. Under where we make our player, I'm going to make tables to hold all of like the other objects that we might have. So we're going to have one for bullets. So this is just going to be an empty table like we've done in the past, and one for enemies. So rather than like having some kind of like manager object or something like that, I'm just going to put this in main. So these are going to be like structures that will hold just all of the bullets in the game and all the enemies in the game. And we can make one for states too if we want to make a state machine, or something like that, something to hold state. But I'm going to just keep this like this for now. And I'm going to make also, just while we're here, a score variable. Cool. So going back to player, can I make this bigger? No. Okay. It's funny that like you could, you know, we're getting somewhere with accessibility, but like, you know, I can make this bigger, but I can't make this bigger, which is like, I don't know, fine, whatever. So we're going to go back to our shoot function. So we're going to set cooldown to 2. That means that we won't be able to shoot for another like 0.2 seconds. And then we're going to say table.insert bullets bullet x y. And so what this is going to do is it's going to take these bullet positions that we're going to give it when we call the shoot function, pass them to here, and we're going to take, we're basically going to make a new, this is basically calling where this constructor for our bullet function. So we're going to need to make it do something. But for right now, this is fine. So then what we're going to do is we're going to just put this where we had kind of left this placeholder thing. So I'm going to say player :shoot self.x plus, I'm going to say like self, let's just say self plus w divided by 2. So half the width, because right now it'd be shooting from the exact center. We want to shoot a little bit ahead of ourselves. We could also say like self, plus half the width plus 10, or, like if you wanted it to come out even more from the front. And I'm going to parentheses these off just for my own eyes, and then self.y. So this is, again, press the space key. It's calling this shoot function. The shoot function is going to our main function, finding this table, adding running the new function that the bullet has, and that's going to create a bullet object and stick it in the table. So yeah, let's go over and fill out our bullet stuff. So for our bullet new, obviously, since we have this over in the other one, we're going to write x and y. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. So we're going to say self.x equals x. And this just refers to this x, right? And then self.y equals y. Self.speed equals 500. We could change that also. We can make it like 1,000 or whatever. And then we're going to self.w. Let's make it smaller. H equals 10. You can make it like 20 if you wanted to make it a longer shot or whatever, but I'm just gonna keep mine little pea shooters. And then same thing, self.dead equals false. And we could basically get through all of this quickly, except like the collision will take a moment to do, but it's a fly. My cat caught a fly today. It was very impressive. So our bullet really only needs to do one thing, right? In update, it just needs to move forward. So we're going to say self.y, or up and down, equals self.y minus self.speed times dt. So this is just saying always just move forward once you exist. And to draw it, we need to make a for loop basically again. That's going to loop through everything in that bullet table. So over here, it's going to look through everything in here, loop through it, and then draw each individual bullet. Because as soon as we add more stuff to it, we still want the previous ones to be being drawn. So we have to constantly be looping through it just to make sure that they're all there. And if any changes happen, like one gets destroyed or something like that. So same thing as last time for I, v in I pairs. But this time bullets do. And like an okay time. I'm rushing a little bit just because like there's a lot that I want to get there, but a lot of it's like stuff that we've done already, right? Like the only like new thing is that insert function. I think we might have done insert in the past. I think we did, but this is like during runtime. I don't know that we've done it. I think we did insert in the beginning, but so love.graphics.rectangle. fill. And then all of these, you already know what it is. It's V. So now, I think that's enough to, oh, we gotta, do we have to do anything in main for this? I don't think so. So let's see if this works. Unexpected symbol near equals 17. Oh, yeah. That'll do it. Okay. It ain't working, so let's figure this out. Okay, table that. Insert. Gonna just save all to make sure that I didn't miss saving something. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. In I pairs, bullets do. Cool. Okay, that should be fine. Oops. Oh, I didn't do bullet.draw in here because I'm a dope. Zoop. Yeah, so let's put it under player. I generally like to just do it in the order in which like things are important. So like the bullet relies on the player. I don't think that really matters, but bullet draw. I think that we also need to do, yeah, bullet update. Okay. Then perform arithmetic on field speed, a nil value. I ran into this problem a bit. I forget how I solved it, honestly. Yeah, it's a fine error screen. It feels very like oopsie whoopsie, you made a upsy dupsy or whatever. Okay, let me see if this like, I'm just gonna hard code this for now. He's given me this error before. I'm not sure exactly. Okay, time to perform arithmetic on field Y. Oh, is it because it doesn't exist yet? I don't. Oh, I need to. Yeah, I'm continuing to be a dork. uh, it's fine. It's me being tired and trying to teach a class about programming. So rather than doing this, we also need to do a loop for this also. So to start, like, this is maybe the most complicated part of this whole section, but we're gonna take it step by step. So we're gonna say for I comma v in, how are we doing time? In I pairs, it's fine on time. Bullets do, and then we're gonna say v colon update, because it, like, before when we just said like bullet update, it was trying to point at like one bullet, and it was like, I don't know what that is, because bullet is a table, right? Or like a bullet is an object inside of a table, and it didn't know what the individual one it was trying to point at was, because that isn't a thing, if that makes sense. So to test, this should be fine. Let's see. I also need a DT. That'll help. There we go. Okay, so now we got a thing that shoots. So the first problem that we'll run into is that we're not getting rid of these bullets. They just are kind of going off infinitely. So the first thing that I want to do is make it so that once it exceeds the top of the screen, we delete it, and then we'll get to the enemies. This is just like a little thing that we could do right now because we're here. So we're gonna say if v.y less than 0. Remember, top of the screen is 0 for this. Then v.dead equals true. And then new thing, slightly new thing, but y'all knew that this was coming. If v.dead equals true, then table.remove bullets I. So what this is doing is, as soon as it exceeds the top, we're setting this flag that says, that's called dead, and setting it to true. And then if it is true, on the next loop, it'll just remove that bullet from the list. And like this you won't be able to see this, and it probably won't even cause like any performance increase or anything like that, but it's a good thing to do. So now let's do our enemies. So I'm going to start by just going to the enemy thing and filling out all the same stuff. So we're gonna say self.x. I could copy and paste this, but x self.y equals, and we're also going to do the x and the y thing. Just don't want that. Self.speed. And we're going to make them the same size as the player. You don't have to, but I'm going to. Equals 50. Self.h equals 50. Self.dead equals false. Same stuff. And again, we could add HP if we want to, but we're not going to. Not for right now, anyway. And it's going to be basically the same, but as the bullet, but moving from the top to the bottom, and we're not going to be telling it when the enemy deploys. It's just kind of going to do it on a timer. We're going to say for I, comma v in I pairs, enemies do end. v.y equals v.y plus v.speed times dt. And then we're going to draw it. Let's make them red, as enemies do. Oh, that just says love.graphics. Set color. Just gonna get rid of all that because we already did it. And then we're going to loop through the same list. V in. If I could type a freaking letter, that'd be cool. Pairs, enemies, do, and love.graphics dot rectangle. Fill. V dot and bam. Cool. And let's not forget to do that thing that we forgot to do twice in a row, or I did. Y'all probably didn't, because y'all are paying attention and maybe got some sleep last night. I don't know. I don't know your life. Enemy dot colon draw. And then we could yeah, honestly, I don't know. I read it in the book once. We're going to let me see, where's the end of this loop? Is this it? Looks like it. Does it tell me where the end of a loop is? Yeah, it's that one. So we're gonna say for IV, same thing, in I pairs, enemies, do. We're going to say what are we gonna say? We're actually not gonna do that right now. We're gonna say and we put that there. Cool. Let's see if this works. Oh no, it's not gonna work because we're never spawning it. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to, this is how I like to do this. You can do spawning however you want to. But I'm gonna do basically the same way that we did the cooldown. You can make it like more complicated if you want to. Like the one that I'm gonna just clearly show you the one that I have in my notes is what I made for with the first time I taught this class, and we have some like more complicated, like, you know, enemies coming in from the sides and different stuff like that. I'm just gonna do like normal, like every X amount of seconds a new enemy shows up, sort of thing. So we're gonna make a new variable called spawn timer, and let's set it to a second. That's fine. And we're gonna make a new function called spawn enemy. If I could type, that would be rad. So we're gonna say if spawn timer is less than or equal to 0, same thing as the bullet cooldown. Forgot to write then. We're just gonna say table.insert. And we're gonna say enemies rather, table that we're inserting to. And then we're going to make a new enemy. And remember, over in enemy we have this. Oh, I already did that over here. That's fine. That shouldn't be there, I don't think. Oh, was I writing this in enemy? Dang. I think I just accidentally like doubled up what? No. This program is just like gaslighting me basically. It's like I thought that I was looking at this script, but it was showing the code from this script. Whatever. This is me being tired and whatever. So yeah, if we look at our constructor for our enemy, we have this X and this Y. So we want to, if we go back over to here, we want our enemies to show up like here, right? But we always want them to show up at the top of the screen, but not like in the same position. Like you can, if you're making like one of those really intense like Toho style shmups, you're probably gonna want like memorizable patterns, but that's not what we're doing. So we're gonna randomize like where on the x-axis they show up, and that's really simple to do. So if we go back to main, we're going to say enemy, and again, this is calling our new function. And for our x, we're going to say math.random. You call it math.random does. We're going to give it a minimum of 0, so that means like over here. And it's fine if it's not going to be like perfect. We could say like you know, enemy.width of 2 or whatever. Then load.graphics.get width. So that means lowest end is over here, highest end is over here. And yeah, I think that's it. After here, we want to set our spawn timer back to 1. Timer equals 1. So therefore, it will make more than one enemy. Let's see if this works. It does not. Of course it doesn't. Nothing ever works on the first try. That's the thing that I want to hammer home about. Oh, right, because we're not calling it. God. So we have to make sure that we call the function. Still not working. That's fine. And we're also not subtracting from spawn timer. That's fine. I'm doing entirely adequately. Might have to do another session of this game. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep it to like a clean 6 sessions, but or like the alternative thing. The thing is, some of the collision detection stuff is a little wonky, so I'd like to talk y'all through like kind of how that works. Timer minus dt. Nope, still not working. I'm drawing them, right? Yeah. Okay, enemy object. Enemy draw. Is there anything weird that I'm missing in enemy? Enemy.draw. I realized I kind of like went back and forth on like how I did this. Like here I did this, but yeah, kind of had to do this here. But like that probably like I probably should have done the loop thing over in main also because that's how I did it for the bullets. Okay, spawn enemy, calling that enemy update, bullet update. That's fine. Enemy draw. Let's see, how am I making them move? I'm gonna, for the sake of oh, am I not giving it a Y value there? That should have been throwing an error, I think. Okay, yeah. Let's say like no. Graphics deck get height. So many parentheses. Don't love this. Percentage with 0. I'm gonna remove the randomness for now, just to debug. Debugging is an important thing to learn how to do. Let's just say 100, 100. That's fine. And close that. Yeah, so this should be making them on the screen. They're not showing up on the screen. Unless like the timing is weird or something like that. Let's wait for a moment. Yeah, it looks like enemy.update, enemy.draw, spawn timer, that's fine. close out of this because we don't really need that one open. Let's try putting this up here. Sure. Okay, yeah. I don't know what's up. So I basically at the end of the hour, and not quite where I wanted to be, but that's fine. Like I said, this is all experimental. So I think what we're gonna do is pick up next time. I'm gonna figure out what's going on here because it's obviously not behaving like how it was earlier, and how I've had this same exact game work before. So I must have just made a silly mistake somewhere along the way. But anyways, you know the drill. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord if you want. I haven't really done anything with it yet. Still. If I do this thing again, or like do it in some, do a different like topic or something like that, like I'm gonna try to be better with the Discord. I just haven't gotten around to it. Drop me some money on coffee if you feel like you learned anything today. Today was like very boilerplate. I felt could have come to this a bit better, but yeah, all that. And yeah, we'll pick this up again next time. I guess we're gonna go for a bit longer than I was expecting to, and that's fine. Like I said, I was never expecting. I was expecting things to go wrong at some point. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you so much for coming by. I'll see you next week. Peace.